私の膝の上でね。最初にしたのは文化祭の時だったわ。しずくちゃんだ。
Last time on Kampfer, Natsuru and Akane had planned to spend a fun-filled day at the amusement park. However, their plans were thrown off course when they stumbled upon a haunted house. Inside the spooky attraction, Natsuru was viciously attacked by a mysterious new red Kampfer. It wasn't until Natsuru got a closer look that she realized the attacker was actually Mikoto, a friend from school. The situation seemed hopeless, but just as the battle was reaching its peak, Akane stepped in to intervene. The fight was ultimately brought to a halt by Shizuku, who demanded to know the true identities of Natsuru and Akane. Natsuru, unexpectedly accompanied by Akane and Shizuku, makes their way to Kaide's house, which is adorned with a myriad of entrails animals. Upon their arrival, Kaide jumps right into a game that involves two people biting through the ends of a pocky stick. Akane tries her best to avoid being paired with Natsuru, but her efforts are in vain as she ends up being stuck with Shizuku. The second round proves to be more interesting as Akane finally gets to pair with Natsuru, only for the stick to break before she can reach it. After the game, Kaide unveils her collection of entrails animals, including a never-before-seen prototype, the burnt-alive lion. Mikoto makes a surprise appearance, bearing a delicious curry which Shizuku accidentally dumps on Natsuru's face, prompting her to take a shower. Unfortunately, due to Kaide's penchant for peeking in, Natsuru has no choice but to bathe in his female form. As Natsuru tries to get some much-needed rest, he inadvertently transforms back into his male form, just as Kaide sneaks into his bed. However, before she notices him, Akane appears in her Kampfer form, eager to convey her feelings to Natsuru. But their heartfelt moment is cut short when they are suddenly attacked by a white Kampfer, Rika Ueda. Thankfully, Shizuku comes to their rescue, and the white Kampfer retreats. Later on, Shizuku ponders over whether or not she's jealous of Natsuru. Shizuku eagerly asks male Natsuru to accompany her on a date, and although she's insistent that it's a proper outing, Natsuru agrees to go, suspecting that it's merely a ploy to lure out the white Kampfer. They start the day off by visiting an aquarium and enjoying a lovely picnic, but things take an unexpected turn when Shizuku begins to question Natsuru about his feelings for Kaide. After hesitating to ask if Natsuru suspects a connection between Kaide and the moderators, Shizuku opens up about her own experiences in the Kampfer battle, recalling a lost ally. Natsuru falls asleep, and in his curious dream, he experiences a brief moment of introspection before waking up to find himself resting on Shizuku's lap. He wonders if she tried anything while he was asleep, but she appears innocent enough. As their date comes to a close, Mikoto catches sight of them, and she's less than thrilled to see Natsuru out with Shizuku. Shizuku's frank comments only make things worse. Later, Akane arrives at Natsuru's house, having heard about his date with Shizuku from Mikoto. She asks him what type of girls he likes, and he casually mentions that he likes girls like Akane. This causes her to transform, and she insists that he make an oath to go on a date with her. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is the most inspiring anime you've ever watched? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. Akane and male Natsuru are enjoying a delightful summer day at the pool. Just as things start to heat up, Mikoto, Shizuku, and Kaede unexpectedly show up. As they walk past, Shizuku notices something peculiar. 3 white Kampfers. Concerned for everyone's safety, Shizuku sends female Natsuru off on her own while she investigates. Suddenly, she finds herself surrounded by the white Kampfer, who introduce themselves as Sayaka Nakao, Ryoka Yamakawa, and Hitomi Minagawa. Fortunately, Akane and Shizuku are able to rescue Natsuru, who is understandably dismayed to learn that he was used as bait to expose the white Kampfer. The group chases the white Kampfer away, avoiding an unnecessary fight. Later that evening, everyone is relaxing at the hotel and having a blast. Akane and Mikoto can hardly believe that male Natsuru went on a date with Shizuku, and things get even more shocking when Shizuku plants a kiss on Natsuru right in front of everyone. Just when things couldn't get any more exciting, Kaede asks Natsuru to step outside the room with her. Entranced by her sudden request, Natsuru follows without a second thought. Outside, Kaede uses her powers of manipulation to persuade Natsuru to accompany her to see the fireworks. As Natsuru finds himself sitting next to Kaede outside the hotel, he suddenly feels a strange sensation come over him. Before he knows it, Kaede has hypnotized him into making Shizuku his. However, Kaede quickly disappears into thin air, leaving Natsuru feeling dazed and confused. Soon after, Natsuru is found and confronted by Akane, Shizuku, and Mikoto, all of whom are in their respective Kampfer forms. They return to the hotel together, but things only get more confusing when they are greeted by Kaede, who seems to have no recollection of the events that just took place. Despite their confusion, they all decide to go to the women's baths together, with Natsuru in female form. However, as they relax in the soothing waters, Natsuru suddenly finds himself overcome by the hypnotism once again. This time he can't resist the urge to bring Shizuku back to the room and make a move on her. Unfortunately for Natsuru, his plans are foiled when he accidentally reveals that Kaede had instructed him to do it. As they try to make sense of everything that's happening, a shocking revelation is made. It appears that Kaede is in command of the White Kampfer. Despite their suspicions, the group decides to carry on with their day as planned. But as they go about their business, Kaede leans in close to Shizuku and whispers something in her ear. Before we continue, big shout out to Moondustwin Roblox, who commented, "Please recap Season 2. On out rent a girlfriend video. Thanks." As Shizuku invites Natsuru over to her house, she can't contain her excitement to spill the beans about Kaede's burnt-to-death lion. With a sense of urgency, she recalls the tragic loss of her dear friend Tamiko in a Kampfer battle, and her unyielding vow to avenge her death. As Natsuru confronts Kaede about Shizuku's allegations, he falls under Kaede's hypnotic spell once again. With Natsuru under her control, Kaede and the White Kampfer trap Shizuku, Akane, and Mikoto, leaving them chained and defenseless. As they wake up from their stupor, Kaede tries to convince Natsuru to turn against his friends and finish them off. But as fate would have it, Natsuru catches sight of a keychain he had previously bought for Shizuku, and breaks free from Kaede's grip. Declaring his unwavering loyalty to his friends despite his love for Kaede, Natsuru's courage inspires Shizuku, Akane, and Mikoto to fight with renewed vigor and break free from their chains. They quickly overpower the White Kampfer, forcing Kaede and her team to retreat. With the battle over, the focus shifts to Natsuru, who finds himself in the middle of a heated competition between Shizuku, Akane, and Mikoto. As they vie for his attention, they resort to all sorts of persuasive tactics, from kissing him to touching him in sensitive areas. But in the end, it is Natsuru's loyalty to his friends that proves to be his greatest strength, paving the way for their victory. As the sun rises on Christmas Eve, Natsuru's eyes slowly flutter open only to realize that something is not quite right. He and his trusty messenger, Disemboweled Tiger, have somehow switched bodies. Without hesitation, Disemboweled Tiger decides to take advantage of this unique situation and ventures outside to explore this strange new world. As he strolls down the street, he can't help but notice something peculiar. His friends Mikoto, Shizuku, and Akane have also swapped bodies with their respective messengers, Strangled Stray Dog, Electrocuted Wildcat, and Black Seppuku Rabbit. The excitement is palpable as they all bask in the sheer joy of being able to experience life from a different perspective. However, the fun comes to an abrupt halt when they are caught sneaking out on a food bill and are forced to perform in a show. But this setback does little to dampen their spirits, as they soon find themselves whisked away to an amusement park by the charming Kaede. As the day progresses, their excitement reaches a fever pitch, and they begin to indulge in some rather naughty behavior. But their actions catch up with them, as Kaede's guilt sends her to a church to confess her sins, only to be punished by the strict student council members who happen to be working there. In a daring rescue attempt, the messengers come to Kaede's aid, but end up fighting amongst themselves in a surprising discovery that they can now feel pain. After saying their goodbyes to Kaede, they ride off on a sleigh, the whole thing being a bizarre Christmas story. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go check out our channel for other awesome anime recaps just like this one.